The irony of the summer, Gyökeres regrets Arsenal move after Amorim-led United lift summer trophy. Atlanta, USA, in what can only be described as a cruel twist of fate, Victor Gyökeres, Arsenal's marquee summer signing, is already expressing regret over his move to North London, just days after a dismal pre-season debut and amid Manchester United's triumphant conclusion to their US summer tour under none other than Ruben Amorim, his former manager at Sporting CP. The irony couldn't be thicker if it were scripted. Gyökeres, brought in for a reported £60 million to add physicality and flair to Mikel Arteta's forward line, endured a nightmare introduction to life as a gunner. Arsenal slumped to a toothless 1-0 defeat to bitter rivals Tottenham Hotspur in their opening pre-season derby in Los Angeles, where the Swedish striker looked like a shadow of the bulldozing force he was in Portugal. Now, with the dust barely settled on his debut, reports close to the player reveal that Gyökeres has privately expressed regret, telling sources, "Had I known Amorim was heading to Manchester United, I would have waited. Reuniting with him could have made all the difference." A statement that is as damning as it is ironic. Ruben Amorim, the mastermind United didn't know they needed. While Gyökeres floundered under Arteta's instructions, over in Atlanta, his former mentor Ruben Amorim was orchestrating a wildly successful pre-season campaign with Manchester United. The Portuguese tactician, who replaced Erik ten Hag in May, has already injected a visible tactical identity into the Red Devils, and the results are speaking volumes. Manchester United lifted the Premier League Summer Series trophy after a 2-2 draw against Everton, following earlier victories over West Ham and Bournemouth. The final tally saw United top the group standings, and fans in Atlanta were treated to a trophy lift, a rare sight during the post-Ferguson era summers. Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount were the scorers in the Everton draw, while United's newest weapon, Bryan Mbeumo, made a sharp, energetic debut after completing a surprise move from Brentford. The French-Cameroonians' interplay with Fernandes and Amad in the first half was electric, reminiscent of Amorim's dynamic Sporting sides. In stark contrast, Gyökeres struggled to find rhythm, space, or even chemistry with Bukayo Saka or Gabriel Martinelli in Arsenal's loss, drawing criticism from pundits who once championed his Premier League arrival. The rebuild begins in Manchester, and Gyökeres is watching. There's a poetic irony to all this. When Gyökeres made the move to Arsenal in early July, Amorim was still rumoured to be in talks with multiple clubs. United were dragging their feet with Ten Hag's uncertain future, and no formal announcement had been made. Gyökeres, understandably, pulled the trigger on Arsenal. But just 2 weeks later, Ruben Amorim was unveiled at Old Trafford in a move that shocked many and excited even more. Amorim wasted no time reshaping the squad, bringing in Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha to lead a ferocious, high-pressing attack, and breathing life back into a club long accused of tactical rigidity. The results: 3 pre-season games, 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 shiny trophy. And Amorim has been ruthless. Players are earning minutes based on form, not reputation. Alejandro Garnacho, who was widely expected to lead the wing charge, has been rotated heavily. Jadon Sancho remains exiled. And in Amorim's new system, players like Patrick Dorgu, academy grad James Garner, and even Aiden Heaven have had their moments to shine. Ruben is demanding, Mason Mount said after the Everton match. But that's the good kind of demanding, the kind that makes you better. He's pushing us all, and we can see a clear way of playing now. Meanwhile in Arsenal, growing pains and lukewarm chemistry. Back at Arsenal, the mood is tentatively optimistic, but tensions are beginning to show. Mikel Arteta, whose attacking philosophy emphasizes possession and fluid interchange, hasn't yet found a way to integrate Gyökeres effectively into his front line. In the match against Spurs, Arsenal looked blunt and predictable. Gyökeres, known for his direct runs and strength on the ball, found himself isolated and frequently double-marked. He touched the ball only 18 times in the first half, failed to register a shot on target, and was subbed off in the 60th minute to audible groans from travelling Gunners fans. Arsenal's failure to score was even more glaring given the form of Tottenham, a team undergoing their own managerial transition under Ange Postecoglou, but still managing to carve out coherent attacks and, more importantly, score. The reaction on Arsenal fan forums has been brutal. Some blame Arteta's tactical rigidity, others point fingers at Gyökeres' lack of adaptation. A few, however, have stumbled upon the painful truth. "We should have waited to see where Amorim ended up before signing Victor," wrote one fan on our Gunners. That chemistry was gold at Sporting. This feels forced. Could there be a twist in the tale? Transfer windows are unpredictable beasts, and while it's high